Yes, people, welcome back to another video. It's John Sinclair TV back again tonight, and we're going to do the season reward short tonight. And it's a new title called The Real Talk Forum. And what it is, like, basically, we just talk about different subjects, and we just say how it is. And it's quite new, so it's fan form, but I just changed the title. So, good evening to you, Stephen. Good evening to you, Niall.
Evening, John. Evening, Niall.
Good evening, John. Good evening, Steve.
Champion. And yeah, so for those who don't know you now, could you tell the viewers about how you become a Newcastle fan? What's your favourite moments?
Right, so I think my first match as a Newcastle United fan was Andy Cole's last game for us. I might be incorrect there, but I think we played Blackburn Rovers at home in the FA Cup, and it was 1-1. I wasn't born in Newcastle, born in Middlesbrough, but that was the first game I was took to by my sister's dad, and I was given no choice other than support Newcastle. And then I've had a season ticket there on in from then. Glad to be back in Europe now, because I think I'm of an age now that I'll be able to go away. My passport's all ready to go. I think when we were there and Tino was scoring hat tricks against Barcelona, I was maybe a little bit too young to be. My mother wouldn't let me leave Newcastle Airport to go to Milan or anywhere. But this time I'm of age, so I'll be definitely packing the bags and taking on a European adventure.
Cool stuff. And Stephen, give us a little breakdown of the season. Just a quick one before we go on for the rewards, and also we go see some comments as well.
Oh, this season, everyone was giving it. Oh, we're not going to get anywhere. We're going to be anything. Like I said, top 7. I said if we can get to 7th place, I'd be happy. But to get where we are now is unbelievable, considering the amount of draws we had through the season. The points we lost through VAR decisions, we would have finished 3rd. And on a slim in, because of how Arsenal went so bad, we could have even made 2nd.
Absolutely.
So I think finishing 4th, is absolutely fantastic. It's I think, like I said, a lot of it's the draws that cost us, and then the VAR decisions. But those draws that we should have won, that's our own fault in some of them. But 4th is great. Like I said, I remember Champions League when Keegan was there. That's when I, because I'm a Kevin Keegan fan, and he's the one of the reasons I support Newcastle United. When he was a player there, I am older than I look.
Yeah, beautiful. No, it's
just a little bit of grey. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I was 50 this year. Last year I was.
Happy
well, you're looking well for 50, Steve.
But I did get myself a little souvenir this week, considering the amount of long it was since we've actually got into a final, and I got the old
bucket hat.
cup final bucket cap. So
yes, love it. Listen, we're going to go for some comments. Before we do that, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, please like, subscribe. Also follow Niall and Stephen as well. And before we go into the comments, also, please remember to keep comments respectfully. No all cap duplicates. No discussing or promoting other people's channels. So it's given permission by me. And please also let mods to mod while you enjoy the show. Thank you very much indeed. We'll go through some comments before we talk about the main topic as well. Big up to John. Congrats on Champions League footy. Glad you guys decided to respect that the bigger United should get the 3rd. Thank you very much indeed, Eddie, and well done to you. Big up to Steve as well. Window shopping as well, by the way, to all these channels. Lots to watch, but I won't stay long, so I need to watch the Euro Tour bit. No problems at all, Stephen. Enjoy. Big up to Bacon Reds. Thank you very much indeed. Big up to Statman Stubbs. Thank you very much indeed. And I don't know how you feel about us getting Champions League and you getting Europe out of league, but it is what it is. But thank you, Statman Steve. I appreciate that, my guy. Even to Leslie, welcome to the show. Hi to Nathan, welcome to the show. Hi to Ches, welcome to the show as well. And got some comments from as well. Hi to Alan Little. Welcome to the show, mate. And everyone say hi to everybody else. Hi to Alan as well. Big up to Andrew as well. Hi to you, mate. Hi to Jimmy. What a season. It sure is, Jimmy. It sure is. And from Andrew, and that's that. So we're going to talk about, we're going to do the rewards, season rewards for the season, different categories. We're going to talk about like goal of the season, save the season, match of the season, young player, player of the season, and moments as well. We're going to come straight off the bat, and we are going to start with you now because you are the new guest. We are going to talk about the goal of the season, and what is your goal of the season and why?
Well, two come to mind straight off. One was because of the actual goal scorer himself, and that was Almiron away at Fulham. I think that link-up play with Bruno down the right-hand side was was a constant theme of our season this year, and I can't believe that so many teams didn't cotton onto it and try and cut it out, because they were quite successful with it. But the goal away at Fulham, where he took it first time on the volley, was just special, and it was just in a period of time that when Miggy was, whatever he touched, it seemed to turn to a goal. The second one that comes to mind was Jacob Murphy's away at Everton, and that's all down to Alexander Isak and that assist. I was in the stand literally 10 yards away from him whilst he was doing it, and I mean, everybody's mouth was just on the floor watching him just dance around everyone. So those were the two that come to mind. I think I'd have to give it a Miggy just for the techers on it, and
yeah, fantastic. Before we come on to you, Stephen, Ashley, come to you now. What is your goal of the season for Newcastle United this season?
Oh,
there's so many
goals.
68 goals.
So many good goals this season.
Yeah,
I think one of the good ones, I think it was the Murphy one, the Tottenham. Was it his second goal or something?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
The look on his face, that big gaping, you know, that was just classic. It was like
that's how everybody looked in the stand.
It was like, I didn't mean to do. It was like as if he was like, I didn't mean to do that. You know, was I just passing it into the box? And I just literally, it was like his face. You know, it was like shock, as if to say, did I actually mean to do that? Unbelievable. Some of the shots he's done, and I think my second goal, even though it wasn't a given, right, was Shah's shot.
Everton.
It was offside, and that shot to me was a beauty. It was just unlucky that one player was slightly offside. You know, absolutely. And Shah can put a foot through a ball so well. He could score more if he's just unbelievable.
Cool. Yeah, I've got some people in the chat as well saying that Leslie saying Fabian Shah first goal for obvious reasons. Leslie, we know we all know you love Fabian, and we're not going to owe you to that. Big up to Jules, by the way. Apologies for it's been a bit so not want to connect. I hope it does connect, Jules. Fingers crossed. And got one here from Jimmy from Washington, and Anne said Trip scored against City, and fly for this as well. My favourite goal of the season, because it's Alison Maximans against Wolves. The way he connected that ball on the volley, like 25 yards out. Those sort of shots could have fly over the bar, flying wide, but the way he took it when the ball dropped to his foot and he smashed it in for 25 yards, and Jose Jassar had absolutely no chance whatsoever. He just stood there. Absolutely stood there, no chance whatsoever. And that's my favourite goal of the season. There's others as well. You got a Trippier free kick. You got the one from Fabian Shah. Yes, that's a great goal as well. Joe Willock's goal against Chelsea was a classy goal, and also, like you said, Vincent Miggy's goal against Fulham. So so tell us what you think, people. Your goal of the season as well. Now we're going to go straight on to save of the season, and That'll be the next one. I don't know what I'm doing there. It should be scrolling, by the way, and it's not. And yeah, so the save of the season. And Nick Pub, obviously, what's your save of the season? I'll start with you, Stephen, this time.
It's a hard one to actually think of.
So many.
There is so many. I can't think of one. You know, he served so many goals this season.
Yeah,
it's I just cannot think. I tend to not to. I don't know what it is. I tend to not to think. Look at what the goalkeepers do half the time.
Yeah.
I think it's more what the strikers do. You know, I actually cannot think of a game an actual game.
I
I
think
know he's been unbelievable.
I think with Nick Pope he's made that many saves this season that he's made look quite textbook, quite simple, and they've been vital times. And you know, just his composure and ability to make stuff look simple shows what a good goalkeeper he is. Again, I'd say I've got two that probably stick out in mind, and one of them being the one away at Crystal Palace. I believe we were 1-1 at that stage. And again, it was one of those games that maybe it's Newcastle in the past, maybe it's 10 years ago. You know, you go down to Palace and you're 1-1, and they're starting to put a bit of pressure on you. You think it's inevitable that they're going to score. He's pulled out a save from 8 yards out from a volley that has kept it at 1-1, and obviously got us that point. And I think, although, like I said, that he has the ability to make hard saves look very simple and textbook. Even the one on Monday night against Leicester, right at the death. Again, that's like supporting Newcastle for that long. You know, you have that ominous feeling where you think it's just going to go against us for some reason. Now looking back, it wasn't the most clear cut of chances, and he'd probably be disappointed if he did concede that, Nick Pope. But he's saved it at the end of the day. He's stood up. He's been there. So I would say that his ability to make vital saves look simple is like a testament to maybe us not being able to pick a save of the season, like one that stands out.
Yeah, totally. Go on, mate.
Talking about Pope, you say Pope, but Dubravka yesterday, towards the end of the game, he shaved our skin against Chelsea.
Yeah,
you know, considering he's not really played this season, he absolutely played a blinder yesterday. You know, and he's going. You know, but what are we going to do next season? Because as far as I know, Larius is going. He's going, and there's even rumours of Gillespie going.
Well, I think the goalkeeping situation presents an opportunity as such. If we do lose Karius, Gillespie, I think we're in the market, aren't we, for a backup keeper, a Pope. Now, if that then becomes Fraser Foster or Tim Krul for the European criteria in the Champions League, it's a homegrown player, isn't it? And I mean, I wouldn't think too much between Dubravka and Foster. I wouldn't, you know, they're a bit of a muchness for me. I think you were right, Steve. He did well yesterday, but I think I've just stressed that Nick Pope makes saves look easy and makes hard. That I think he was putting a bit on for the cameras yesterday.
Yeah, I think Dubravka's going anyway. I think we need to bring in a young keeper that's maybe established a bit, that can basically be there as a backup for Pope. And in 2 seasons' time, I can't see Pope doing another, say, more than 2 seasons at this level. And then he can step in and he'd be already then proven replacement.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think Nick Pope's got 4 or 5 years left in him as a goalkeeper, in my opinion. But I'll give you a bit of stat on Nick Pope, right, by the way, guys, right? And he's played lots of games this season. I think he missed 1 this season. in the Premier League. Obviously, got banned, didn't he, for that professional foul. He's faced 116 shots, saved 85 of them. His percentage of saves this season is 73.28%. And I tell you what, that is really good. David Raya is 77%. And I tell you what, David Raya is a brilliant keeper for Brentford as well. For me, I mean, if you choose the best top 3 keepers in the league, it'd be, you know, I'll go for a surprise of 1. I mean, probably 3. It would be Nick Pope, and Ramsdale to a certain degree, and also Edison and David Raya as well. So those 4 will be in as well. So the saves for me is Palace away and the one against Leicester, which is so significant, got us Champions League football. Then again, Liverpool drew, didn't they, the other day, and that would have made any difference at all whatsoever. And let's go on to some comments as well. Our under-18 goalkeepers needs major work. We got a few, and none of them really outstanding this season. Asking Jimmy, I have to see your point, Jimmy. Look, end of the day, I'm in the young keepers, but for me personally, if you want to win Champions League, you want to win the Premier League, win trophies, for me personally, I'll go out and get a keeper. And in future years, for me, the one I'll go for is 2 of them. I would say I'd still keep the Barca in a way, but if he wants to move on to be a number 1, cool. I thought the Barca had a good game. That's why I would give him 7 out of 10 on my player ratings as well. But if he wants first team, cool. Otherwise, we just get a replacement as well. Long-term keeper for me, I mean, I would probably say Diogo Costa. Maybe in a couple of years' time, he's an excellent keeper. I still think he's class. Magmanion, for me, he's the best keeper in Europe. He'll be 30 in a couple of years' time. Whether he'll be good enough for the Premier, I think he will, 100%. So for me, they save against Leicester was significant, and I think Mason saves against Chelsea as well, and he's been fantastic. Let's go on to some more comments. Please keep them coming in. I think they will look for a keeper who could play at Liverpool's feet. Lucas Chevalier for Lille. I think that keeper's going to be fantastic as well in the years to come. I really do. Jake said, you've been far too harsh on Dubravka. Dubs the quality on Sunday. Is a marvellous shot stopper and distributes the ball as well as Pope. Neither great with their feet. Fair comment, JJ. Pick up to Luca, by the way. Hi to Luca. And share to socials, peace to the help. Thank you, Jules. Pick up Newcastle. Great season. You had lots of draws. That is the problem, Luca. You're absolutely right. Turn those draws into wins, then we'll be talking about fighting for the title of Man City. But I still think we would have got there anyway. And Dub's still a top keeper as well. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, we've got the best defense, and that's why you can see the very few goals, guys. And we're going to go on to the next one. We're going to go match of the season. For me, there's plenty of them. And what's your match of the season now?
The first one that comes to mind is the Tottenham at home. 5 goals in the first 21 minutes was just, again, it was another jaw-dropping sight. It was a game that was billed as, you know, potentially the battle of who gets 4th place at that time. Now I know Tottenham have kind of drifted away and fell off the cliff basically and done absolutely nothing, but just the tension going into that game for myself, that was the one where I thought, right, if we win this one, you know, I think we can comfortably say we belong in that category of the fight for the top 4. Because for me personally, I don't know whether it's just for supporting them that long. You always have that thing in the back of your mind that it's Newcastle. Something's got to go wrong. Something won't add up or something. But yeah, that game, the display and how we tore them apart in the first 21 minutes was, it just cemented the fact that we belong in that top 4 fight. And I think it was that game that really took us on to the last period in the season to cement it. And yeah, I mean, all 5 goals were just incredible as well. The assist from Willock to Isak for the 4th, just that's the one match that really sticks out in my mind.
Cool, that's fine. What about Stephen? I got one there from Vince. 3-3 for me against City, set the benchmark of where the team was. That's a very good point, Vince. Brilliant point as well. I got 2, by the way. Win against Spurs at home and against Man U. And watching while I'm on holiday back Saturday. Have a good time, Luca. Have a fantastic time wherever you are. And unless the name is Riviere, that is. And thank you, Luca. Stephen, your match of the season.
I said the Tottenham. Tottenham at home. It was just absolute class. First 20, 22 minutes, and five goals. It's just it was a shock. It was just really brilliant. And I suppose the Everton 5-1. Is it 5? Yeah, 5-1.
4-1.
4-1. Sorry, 4-1. Isak, just absolutely awesome. I think so many good games this season. It's just those two are the best. But I think some of the games, like the Man City game, to draw 3-3 at the time we did draw with them. It was early in the season, and Man City were playing really well. So was Arsenal, and we had to do everything we could to get points and build ourselves up. But those two games, Everton and Tottenham, just gave us that momentum, those points we needed, because we went through that little run where we didn't have wins for a few games, and then we just hammered forward then and won a few games in a row.
Yeah, totally agree there, man. Totally agree, because look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, it's been a wonderful, wonderful game. These are wonderful games, and I'm going to be honest with you, just keep it going, just keep it going. Yeah, for me, I can think of two. The game against Tottenham, where we have to win. It's a test for us to have any chance of getting in the top four. We can actually rattle them as well. That's exactly what we've done. That's exactly what we've done. And the game against Man City told us everything that we need to know, that we are ready to take on the big six. And that has been proved. 3-1 up, just couldn't get over the line. But at the end of the day, we gave everything as well for that football club as well. And I tell you what, we've rattled a few teams as well. We took 4 points off Chelsea, 4 points of Man United, 6 off Tottenham. Yeah, got to about Liverpool as well. We took a point of Arsenal. That tells everything you need to know, and long may it continue as well. So let's go for some comments as well, people. And we got on for from Steve. Hi, Steve. Even guys, we've already got Pope. He's great, but Mire for Napoli, potential up for grab, and also world class. What are your thoughts? You know what? Alex Mire has had a fantastic season. He's been a fantastic keeper. You can see 28 goals this season for Tender Pie outfit, and he'd be fantastic. Great keeper. Still young, by the way, and he had to come a long way. Jimmy is chatting to Steve as well. Let's go on to the next topic as well. Keep those comments coming in, please. The young player of the season. And I'll start with you again, Stephen. Young player of the season for Newcastle.
So, young player. So, I think when you say young, what do you mean? What, early 20s sort of thing?
Yeah,
Mid-20s,
young players, under 23s. Your pick. I think Jacob Murphy. He's 28. He's 28.
28, is he?
He's not young. He's not young.
He looks younger.
He does, doesn't he?
If it's young, Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson has done really well. Just come into the team. Different with Longstaff. Longstaff has improved, yeah, but he's been established. But I think Elliot Anderson come in, fresh face. I think he's done really well. Got the games he has got, and I've not really seen him falter that much. He's missed a couple of times, getting the ball, and he's lost it a few times, but he's improved so much that he'll be a regular first teamer next season because of the squad's rotation, and I think he'll get more games next year.
Cool. What about you now? Young player of the year, and why?
I'll agree slightly with Steve there. I think Elliot Anderson has been brilliant this year. He's fitted in whenever needed. But I think if we're going up to the age of like 23, I don't think you can look past Sven Botman. Just the maturity that he uses at the back it's just way beyond his years. I think he is 23 at the moment. So I think that is that just in your criteria there, John? Yeah, is that still young enough? Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah, being pivotal at that position of centre back. There's not been. I mean, there has been a couple of times when he's made the odd error. Let's say Forest away, where he gifted them a goal. But I think his composure, like in that match after it doesn't look as if he's that bothered. Really, he has a belief that he's very good, and them little things aren't really going to affect him. But there's so many games this year that he's just absolutely nullified any opposition attack. And you can't look past him, I don't think, for young player of the season.
Cool, 100%. For me, I'll turn mine in a minute. Vincent Botman for me, rolls right at the back, and Alanson Botman as well. What's that to you, mate? Hope you're good. Jimmy's Botman. Leslie saying Isaac or Botman for a young player. Steve said Botman, and he's 23. 23 counts, and it's Isaac. But Botman played the full season, and it's a heart of why we had the least losses in 131 year of football. And you know what it is for me? I could have said two. I missed heard a question I asked young player of the year. I thought it was going to be an answer. I could change my mind. I am going to say Sven Botman for me. That guy has everything he needs for a defender. He defends properly. He's cool on the ball, and he reads the game like a book. And I want my defender guys to defend properly. That's what I want. If you're a centre back, you've got to defend properly, yeah? And this guy can actually do that. He's so cool at the back. He's cool. And, now gets past him, by the way. Okay, you made that mistake against Nottingham Forest. But at the end of the day, all defenders make mistakes. He's one of them. And he rectified that mistake as well. There's one or two games that hasn't been great. I can't lie. However, I think this guy is going to get better and better and better. I hope he stays in Newcastle for the rest of his career, because he will win things with us, and especially under Eddie Howe as well. So, yes, that's going to be your player of the year. Goes to Sven. Now, we want to know your player of the season. Stephen, I'll start with you, mate.
Got to be Joe Linton. He's, if you think about a player that was supposed to be a striker, wasn't making it as a striker. Under Bruce, he just couldn't do. He couldn't do nothing. He weren't fit. He weren't right. And now you've seen what Eddie Howe's done with him. Pushed him into midfield last season, and now he's just bossed the midfield. He's absolutely everywhere. He's fitter than he's ever been. Absolutely awesome player. Yes, he hasn't scored many, but it's what he gives to the midfield and supplies that ball forward is what what he's done this season. And he's an enforcer. He's looking much tighter, much fitter. And to me, he is the most improved player since Eddie's taken over. And not just him, you look at some of the players now, like Willock and a few others, they're looking tight. They're looking really muscular, sort of, and they're fitter, a lot faster.
Yeah.
Totally and he's got the call up for Brazil. Would he have got that call up? If Eddie was not in charge?
Definitely. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not on Steve Reese, he wouldn't.
No. Oh, no. Someone made a comment the other day about Ashley. The players we had, if we had the right manager and he had put the money in that he'd had in, we'd be in the same position now with him if he'd have done the right job in the first place. But he didn't do the right job. And the new owners have come in, and it doesn't matter how much the money they've got. We've all got to work for this fair play. All they've done is basically put the money into the structure, and they'll bring money into the club because of who they know and what they know.
Do you know what it is, Steve, right? I mean, Steve Bruce said before, right, about Joe Linton, right? He goes that there's a player in there. There's a player in there. The problem is he couldn't coach. He couldn't coach the guy. Do you know what I mean? No. Don't get us wrong. I was the first one to criticize Joe because he wasn't good enough. I was a flop at the time. Yeah. So Eddie comes in. So all that time, Steve Bruce trained him, tried to train him into a better player. He couldn't do that.
No.
He had what, 2.5 years to do that, and he couldn't get it
Look
right.
at-
Eddie
Steve
Howe
Bruce.
comes in, right?
Yeah.
And done it in 18 months. In fact, he did it in 6 months, and he was a better player. So
But
that tells
Eddie-
me the coach is wrong.
But Eddie Howe can run down the pitch with him. Could Steve Bruce?
No, because he's too overweight. Do you know what I mean? He's had too many gigs.
He couldn't do 100 meters with him. You know, he couldn't get out on the pitch. Eddie gets out on the pitch and he runs around. He does, you know, he's a fit guy. You know,
Yes.
and he's young. I know Bruce wasn't young, but still, at the end of the day, if you're going to manage a football team, you've got to be as fit as some of your players. Maybe not fit, but you've got to be able to run up and down a pitch with them. You know, play a little five-a-side or something. You know, be able to actually do it. Steve Bruce couldn't kick a ball.
Exactly. And you know what it is, right? He's so defensive as well. He's trying to change his game, didn't work at all whatsoever.
No.
And that guy, big up to Eddie Howe, by the way. And I think Jordan should thank Eddie Howe as well to getting him and the national caller for Brazil. Get into the Brazilian national team, it's flipping hard to get in. You have got to be so damn good to get into that squad. And Joe Linton has done wonders at that football club. And he's been brilliant. I'll come to you in a minute now. Go for these comments as well. We're a young club too. We are a youth project, Jimmy. We are a youth project. Joe Linton, the improvement is not just good, it's phenomenal. He's up there with the best midfielders in the league. That beast. Vince, I agree with you, man. Totally agree. That Brazilian international Joe Linton, you all absolutely. And that's why he's got the call up correct. And Vince chatting to Stapes. Player of the season, it's a hard one. 9 potential candidates in our team. There's quite a lot there as well. And we go through one as well. Steve Bruce only runs after the bacon truck. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Woo! Nice one, Vince. Nice one. Big George, Philippe says, call up the best. Player of the season has to be Port Wilson. Without Port, we don't bet the Champions League. Speaks volumes that we have so many candidates for player of the season. Trips for me, but later half, Murphy has been amazing. So Stuart, Botman, etc. Colourful for Eddie Howe. He's not a player, Steve. Manager of the year, of course you can. I couldn't run 200 meters to be fast, Stuart, bless her. With age come the knowledge and experience, Bruce being the exception to the rule. You know what it is, Leslie? I can't even argue. I can't need anything to add to that one, by the way. All the speed Sebastian's giving me the credit for bacon. You know what? I'm trying to go on this keto diet and I'm trying my best. So I've got to work to it. I love Rafa, but I wonder often where those who wanted them back after the sale film. Now, you don't hear about Rafa anymore. Exactly. You just don't hear about it anymore. You just don't. I felt sorry for him, by the way, Everton fans. And hi to Nippon. Big up to you as well. Let's go on to Niall, your player of the season. Stephen said Joe Linton. Who would you go?
I mean, it's hard to argue against Joe Linton. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Everybody knew there was a player in there, or people within the club knew there was a player in there. I used to watch the interviews after the game, even with the likes of like Andy Carroll and Sean Longstaff back in the day. But you know, listening to them talk about Joe Linton in training and saying he's not only the best player, he's the best player by a mile.
Yeah,
you were kind of thinking, well, what's going wrong on a weekend? And I was similar to you, John. I'd wrote him off. I thought, you know, he scored that goal away at Tottenham, where he's took it down, tidy touch, tidy finish. You think, oh, that's not bad, that. But then after that, just complete demise. But to get himself back up, absolutely phenomenal. Just to be different though, I'll go for the other Brazilian in the middle of the park, Bruno. And I think there's like the comments said, there's obviously like maybe 9 or so players who you could give this award to. I'm going to go to Bruno though, just because of the kind of like the donkey work he does, and even when he's not in the headlines, not like on the score sheet, not creating an assist, he gets kicked all over. He dictates our play. when he was out for a number of games this season, you saw how fragile we were and we'd lost. Now there was all the big talk of in January trying to get these positions. Now they're all defined by numbers, but playing Bruno in a number 6, and we were trying to find like a number 6, such as like Declan Rice or a player of that positional sense, and then move Bruno on to 8. I just couldn't. I like Bruno where he is. I do. I like him in a 6 role. I think he doesn't mind getting kicked about. He's as cool as you want on the ball. He's not that flustered about me. The same with Botman. He's of that ilk of, you know, if he gives the ball away on the rare occasion that he does, it's not going to like toss him into a nightmare for the rest of the game. He kind of can just shimmy it off and get going again. But yeah, just down to the fact that when he was suspended, or he had that ankle injury, but I don't know if he missed a game for that. But certainly when he was suspended from after the Southampton semi-final, you saw a bit of fragility, and I don't think we won a game after that. So I'm going to go for Bruno. But massive mention for Joe Linton. Love Joe Linton.
I'm going to have to agree with you now. I'm going to have to agree 100%. For me, I would have gone for Bruno all day long, because that guy makes everything tick in the midfield.
Yeah.
He comes in, and the passing, the ability, his work rate is absolutely fantastic. Scores some cracking goals. And I just love Bruno. He's got to be my player of the season. He was my player of the season before Christmas, and I'm going to stick with this guy. He just said big mention, big up to Joe Linton. Kieran Trippier came close. Nick Pope was up there as well. Sven Botman rule out. And look, at the end of the day, I think they were all fantastic. But for me, it's Bruno G all day long for me as well. Well, Bruno lists everyone's game in absolutely, Leslie. That's absolutely correct as well. Because I tell you something, I mean, without Bruno in the side, I think we've got massive problems. Real talk. And I tell you what, things would just get better with this guy. You know, when he's fit, fully fit, he'd be absolutely massive as well. Before going to months of the season, a bit of breaking news as well. Can anyone remember Haidara, who used to play for Newcastle?
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to Lons, this club. It's just qualified for the Champions League. So congratulations to Haidara.
Nice.
And Masadio Haidara. Congratulations to Masadio. And wish your team every luck under the sun. Big up. He had that terrible injury, by the way, but he came back very, very well. Pleased for him. He's back on the grass. Let's go on to the next topic as well. Start with you now. Your moments of the season. Your moments to the whole season.
Moment of the season.
It could be anything. It could be off the pitch. It could be on the pitch. Anything.
I think on the pitch, I'm going to go back to one that we've mentioned already, and that was maximum goal against Wolves. Early on in the season, you know, that stereotypical game that 10 years ago, 1-0 down against Wolves, away from home, last dives of the game, if you've already written it off as a Newcastle fan, basically, you think, well, we never score late, do we? Not only did we score late, but the manner in which we scored that strike, I think it just, whenever there's been a little blip or anything in the season, we've Eddie's been able to bounce them back, or the blips haven't been that catastrophic. So I think it can be quite easy to just get in a rhythm of like losing 1-0 away from home every away game. But just that goal there early on, it's like the City game as well. You know, we stamped our authority on the league at that stage and said, look, we're not here to mess about. We're going to be challenging. So that goal at Wolves for me on the pitch was just class. Off the pitch, I think the Trafalgar Square the night before the Carabao Cup.
I was there.
The owners being in disguise there. I think that's a nice touch. I think anything that they've done so far off the pitch has just been incredible. I've just been watching the Shola give the MTV cribs of the new training ground, and I mean it's it's far in a way improvement from what was under Mike Ashley. And I remember the wheelie bins that they had for jumping in the ice baths after the training sessions. Now we've got all the stay obvious. So yeah, but the Trafalgar St. Maximin's goal against Wolves, because it I think it eradicated that mentality of getting beat. I mean, to go through the whole season with only 5 losses, I think that's the same as Man City. I think Arsenal had more losses than us. I think it just showed that like never say die attitude. But I think that mantra came from maybe that moment. St. Maximin, last minute volley from 25 yards. It's just amazing. And then, like I said, off the pitch, the owner's been a true square.
Yeah, cool. I've lost it there, but cool. We'll got Steve commenting in a bit. I've got one from Jules Murphy. Shit house to his memes. Yes, absolute mint that. It really is. And Hapal, bigger to Hapal. Hi to you, mate. Do hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can. That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. And let's go on to Finney as well. Big up to you, Finney. A big one was young Liz Miley coming on. Shows that there's a future of youth in the club. Vince, we're a youth project, mate. We are a youth project. And this guy, I'm going to back this guy all the way. And let's go on to Isak, who on to that assist. Yep, absolutely. And Rimmer and Bruce had Jacob as a fullback. Ian Ritchie, oh my God. That's better out of better. Steve, give us your moments, mate.
Oh, I think it's getting into the Carabao Cup. Just, beating Southampton 2 games in a row. And, in the past, Southampton was one of our bogey teams. So they've always been dangerous against us. But this season, because of the way they were playing, I thought, we're going to beat them. We're going to, I'm going to take them apart. And getting into the final was absolutely fantastic. That was my moment, because not being in a final since, the mid-90s, when we lost against United and Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the best moment for me. Just
cool. I tell you what, though, if he played United now, right, in the Carling Cup, we'll beat them. We'll beat them convincingly, because that one with nerves got into the players that day. I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, we're used to it now. We do better next time. We play them now, we absolutely beat them.
I think it's just we weren't fit enough, were we? We didn't have enough strength.
We didn't, no, not at all. For Casemiro had a great game that day. I'm not going to lie. However, we just if that chance went in if Asa would have passed to Wilson, that would have been a goal. 1-0 Newcastle. It just has to be. And the next one I'm not going to read about as well. I'm sorry, but it's not going to be read. And Mimata on it as well. Thank you. I don't know if it's a moment of the season, but those 5 or so minutes where our fans were dead silent after Murphy setting goal win against Tottenham, I was thinking, what's going on? Jez, I tell you what, I was speechless when he scored that goal. Absolutely speechless. I thought I was going out for a goal kick. I can't lie. And then the next one I did, it was in the back of the net. I did a vlog that day, and I was speechless. Absolutely speechless, by the way. But that's a cracking goal. And I'll come to that question in a minute, Corma. Hold that thought for me. I tell you what my moments is this season. I could say 2. A, to Wembley. Secondly, War Flags. War Flags has been fantastic. Pick up the War Flags, by the way, if you're watching, by the way, right? I tried to get you on my show, but I still haven't need to reply. But at the end of the day, what can I do? What can I do? Just keep trying. But War Flags, Steve, absolutely wonderful. I don't think I can go to any matches, any other games and do that.
I haven't been able to go up because I can't afford it at the moment. It's quite pricey, isn't it? By the time you pay for your train 100%. Ticket and everything, and it's if you got to stay overnight and stuff. So, it's something that I've got to build up to. I suppose when my channel picks up a bit more. I don't have members at the moment, and I don't expect that for quite a while. So it's just basically building it up at the moment, just to get it to people watching, really.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. The thing is, right, I mean, I don't know if the season tickets going up again this season. I got no idea, because I'll tell you now, right, I mean, people's got, if it goes up, people's going to be happy still, do you know what I mean? But I think it should, for me personally, I think it should freeze at the end of the day.
I think they will. I think they will, because
freeze.
they can't punish the fans for the team getting better. They've got money coming in. They've got a bigger sponsorship package coming in. So I don't think they're going to penalise the fans that much.
Absolutely, yeah, good. That's a good point, Stu. That's a fair shout there. Would you keep Murphy next season? If you look closely, he's only had 2 good months this season per patch. For me, right, I mean, he's 28 now, right? I'll keep him. That's a squad player, in my opinion, 100%. But I still want to get a world-class player playing for Newcastle. Now we're in the Champions League, we deserve to get better players through. Moussa Diaby is one of them, yeah? I still keep Miguel Almiron, right? But for me, I'll go out there and get a worldie, yeah? That guy from Leverkusen, is it Fritz from the Bundesliga? That guy is absolutely brilliant. I'll get his name in a minute.
Dominic Soboslai.
Dominic Soboslai. That I'll tell you what, there's reports I'm hearing from Leipzig. I mean, one of the on a tweet, I'm going to pick up in a minute, that he's keen to come to Newcastle, but like I said, that's coming from the Leipzig end and not from Newcastle's end. But keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll be doing a transfer show pretty soon. Murphy's coming against Tottenham, and got on second that War Flags. Thank you, Jules. War Flags gets a massive mention, and third it War Flags. I Wembley was awesome, and impromptu wear flags with Rias again fabulous. And I heard some of the fans of other clubs criticize our club for manufacturing and atmosphere of all the flags. They don't seem to understand it's paid for by the fans, independent from the club. Here we go, Jez. You're absolutely right, by the way. But then again, all these other fans tonight should keep their mouth shut, yeah? We do our thing. Simple as that, yeah? You got to create the atmosphere to make things happen. Simple as
that's
that.
it.
You know what I mean? So the club for winning Justin News picks. Well said, Jules. I was going to say, I've got to ask you this question, by the way. Who has, and I don't know if it's going to be that many, who do you think needs to improve next season? I'll start with you, Stephen.
What players? Or
yeah, players.
I think Target's a good player, but when he has played this season, he's not been up to what he was when we had him last year, when he first came in and that. I think he needs to improve quite a bit if he wants to stay. Because at the moment he's using him as a backup. He's not a first choice. If you bring players in and we get people injured, he's not going to be first choice to come in if we get new defenders. So definitely he needs to improve if he wants to keep and get in the squad. Because at the end of the day, our defense has to be our main strength. Doesn't matter what your midfield is. Yes, we need a strong midfield, but your midfield is also defending as well as attacking, and your defense needs to be tight if that midfield needs to get forward.
I've got to have to agree with Matt Target. I like Matt Target. Doesn't look fit at all whatsoever. I don't know what's wrong with him. I really don't. Played on Sunday, right? I mean, he did one or two good things, but for me, he looked way off the pace for me, if I'm honest with you. Yes, I can't lie.
I think not getting game time is a thing as well.
Yeah. That's true.
And I'm not sure if he's been playing in the reserves or not, if he's been sitting on the bench, but it just doesn't seem like he's having enough game time to do it. So maybe he needs to go down to the reserves for a little bit, play a bit of football to come back up to the first team.
Yeah, gotta have to agree. Will it be next season? I've got no idea, because if we get Kieran Tierney, I think he's done. But I'd love to get Kieran Tierney at Newcastle. I tell you what, this guy, Tierney, what a class player. But the injuries as well is a problem. But I would definitely take Kieran at Newcastle United. Niall.
I think I'd agree with Steve there wholeheartedly. Target. I think he's came on board, hasn't he? And he's thought to himself he's going to be number one without really having to do too much. But then you look at the emergence of Dan Burn, and I know he's not your most stereotypical left back, but he's been vital for us at times this season. He's also been a little bit of a weak link, and you saw that like against Man City away, the Foden goal. He can be somebody you can be got at, but I think I'd definitely play him over Matt Targett at this stage. I completely agree with what you're saying. Targett does look, he looks overweight. He doesn't look fit. He doesn't look nimble. He hasn't offered much going forward when he's had his chances. And he has had chances. I think, you know, the game against Chelsea, the one against Everton away, there weren't really top draw displays. But I mean, maybe that's compared to the players that are playing in that team at that time, and every single one of them looks amazing at the time. I'd have to say as well, Anthony Gordon. I think he openly said at the end of the Chelsea match that the standard was way too high, which is a brilliant thing when you think about he's came from Everton.
Yeah,
I know they've been in a relegation battle, but there's the evidence. He's came in from that team that should be fighting for their lives, and he said the step up was too big for him in terms of fitness wise, technique wise. So it was refreshing for him to say himself that he needed to improve, and he's got a big summer ahead. But that is one of the main improvements from even like. I wasn't Rafa's biggest fan. I thought Bruce just copied what Rafa did, and they never ever had a fit team. Never. It wasn't. We would stand still on the edge of our box for 90 minutes. Now the fitness levels of the players has just went up exponentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Good shout for me. Yeah, I mean, let's go on to the last topic as well. I know I shouldn't say, man, so I have to agree with you guys. I think he needs to improve as well. But if he's here next season, cool. If not, then what can we do? Yeah, it's great to see that. Obviously, good lad Gordon, absolutely right. And Gordon got branded points for his insight and honesty as well. Thank you, Leslie. And the last one we're going to talk about tonight, the last topic we're going to talk about as well, the player to watch for next season. Niall, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go for current player. I'm going to go for Isak. I think that every time that kid turns up, he does something a little bit special, even if it's just like close control with his feet. I know he didn't score against Chelsea, but even like at the beginning of the match, he had that chance. Maybe he's 100%. About 5 minutes in, and it was just very quick feet, being able to get the shot out, and you know it would have only took that be a yard either side of the keeper, and it's in. Yeah, he's a different player to certainly what I've seen at Newcastle. He reminds me a little bit of. I know there's been the comparisons with Henry, but I think he's almost got in terms of Newcastle, he's got a little bit of Beardsley about him, a little bit of Ginola. Beardsley with like the close control at his feet, and Ginola with like his pace and being able to like express himself and kick a ball past somebody and beat him for pace there. But yeah, I don't think there's any limits on this guy. I think he's a top player.
Thank you for that. Well said. What about you, Stephen? Player to watch for next season.
Well, it's a bit of a hard one, really, because you're looking at the team we got, and you got to think about who's coming in. But I do agree, Isak, because I think he's going to improve big time. He's still young, and he's going to have the rest of the summer now to get together with the team, get the friendlies out the way, improve. And I think the new players coming in will improve him as well. Because we are going to bring some more continental players in, as well as British players. So I think he'll improve big time. I think we could see a lot more goals from him next year. A lot more. Because I think this year he hit the ground running. Yes, he's done better than we thought he would. because not many players can just come into a team and just get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think next season he is going to score, maybe he could potentially score another 50% more than he did this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree, because for me, I'm gonna say Isak as well, because all eyes are on him, because I think it's gonna make a huge difference if he bulks up a little bit. Excuse me. It'd be fantastic physically, and I think it's gonna cause a lot of defenders a lot of problems next season. I mean, he's worked him out now, and I think the defense is going to find a way of stopping him. But he's going to be key next season. If we all fight for the title, this guy is going to be right up there. Do you know what I mean? Excuse me. I'm not asking him to win the title, just fight for the title, because it's going to be the top 5 for Champions League next season. Top 5. Finish 5th, that gets you Champions League. And injury-free, Isak, and an injury-free Bruno as well. Thank you, Jez. And like Messis mentioned, Anderson with significant minutes, to be fair, could go through the team. I think Newcastle's going to go a long, long way. It's all down to Isak. If he's injury-free, gets the goals, it gets us top 4 or top 5 next year. On to Elliot Anderson. I think he's going to improve every time. Then you got ENQUIRIES as well. He's going to come back as well. I think he's going to make a difference, but I hope we steer, because we got 4 competitions to play for next season, and we're going to need every one of them in the first team to compete in the competition as well. So for me, the player to watch for next season is going to be Isak, the young one as well. I hope he stays in Newcastle and learn from other players. It's going to be ENQUIRIES as well, and I'm looking forward to see how he does as well. So that wraps up the award season award show for the season, and thank you very much, guys, for coming on. Don't go away yet. And now, did you enjoy coming on the show? And did you enjoy coming on?
Yeah, brilliant. I've been watching you from the start, John. So it's always good to have I get addicted to watching the Newcastle stuff. Our last goes off at me watching Match Cam and the extended highlights, and then your podcast on the night. But it's fun times, isn't it? It is. I'm really looking forward to a European night up at St James's next season, and be glad to attend again on it, John. Very well done.
Absolutely. I've done that form the other day. You got to update your details for a season ticket. I hope I've done mine right. Let's hope that's the case. And what a season, let's do it again. And I'm glad you enjoyed. And I think Eddie will cool to get another loan. For me personally, I think he may stay and work with better players that we've got at the club. Because you're going to need him for competitions as well.
There's talk of him going to the Championship.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. But which one? Would it be the Bar? Would it be? Could be Plymouth, maybe. Could it be Bristol City? We'll see. You never know. We see what happens in the summer. And thank you, Vince, mate. And thanks a lot. And hope you see more views as well coming soon. And also Lewis as well. Thank you, Jules. Thank you, Leslie. And Steve, where can you find you on your show, mate? Where can you find you on your socials, mate?
Well, Rock Toon on YouTube is my channel.
Yeah.
And then my socials, I've got a group on Facebook, and then Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Fantastic. And now, where can we find you on your socials, mate? Is it just on Twitter?
Yeah, just on Twitter at NIA11B. It's just retweets of Newcastle stuff, maybe stuff that you put on, John. So
cool.
Not here promoted, but love a good chat about football and the Geordie boys.
Fantastic. The link's in the title, everybody. Yeah, just go into the links there. Just get them followed on Twitter. And I'm sure we talk about Newcastle as well. And guys, like the video, like what you see on mine, then please like and subscribe. I'm going to do the 5 things on a recorded one later, so please keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will be back hopefully tomorrow. Thursday, it could be a transfer show, but I'll let you know on that. I hope to get Ian Sutcliffe on as well, because he says come on Thursday. I hope he comes on. If not, we just talk about other things as well. Friday, back with Louise for the player ratings for the season. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you listen to Louise's player ratings as well, I think she's very, very generous, by the way. very generous.
Too generous.
I don't know if you watched her, man. I mean, Louise is brilliant. I mean, she's just started watching Come On the channel. Like, you know, she's amazing. Well switched on as well. Let's be real, yeah. But for me, giving Anthony Gordon a 10 out of 10.
He did score a good goal though, didn't he? This week he did score a good goal, but he's still got more. He's still got to improve. He's not the finished article that that he couldn't be.
Yeah, he has got a way to go up. I'm back in the sky. I think Anthony Gordon's going to be fantastic. I mean, you check out this guy called Yarn Man, right? I mean, on Arsenal Fan TV, that guy, he is as honest as they comes. My God. Not happy, and he speaks facts. Lee Gunner speaks facts as well, but I won't mention too many as well. So, guys, don't go away. I'll go with you guys backstage, and please like, subscribe. Big up to Carl as well. Hi to Carl. Hope you're well, mate. I hope you come on. I hope you come on this week if you can. Let us know on the DM. That'd be brilliant because Louis wants to chat to you as well. That'd be a ding dong battle. I'm sure it'd be fantastic. Controversial, but for keeps. Thank you, Stephen. And it's good to see people in the chat. Hope you have a fantastic evening. Give us your thoughts, your rewards as well. Your goal of the season, player of the season, your player of the season, your best game, who needs to improve, etc. Leave in the comments there, please. That'd be fantastic. And your eyes on AG, he will improve and has the potential of being a serious player. He could be our most improved player. Absolutely right, Stephen.
Oh yeah,
totally agree. And on that bombshell, we're going to get stuff out here. And thanks so much for watching, chats. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. But keep out for the 5 things Newcastle need to do in the summer. I'll record a show on that one. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.